recipe ideas. Today we're going to go through how to make ginger ale. This is one of my all-time favourite soft drinks to have because it's an amazing way to get good bacteria into your gut and full of minerals and vitamins. And if you look nowadays, a lot of people are getting addicted and loving alcohol and a lot of the soft drinks. You know, they're craving these things. And, you know, we could look at it as saying, well, the body's craving something. A lot of these drinks could be that they're in our unconscious memory. Because they're not around nowadays, most people are getting drawn towards alcohol and soft drinks as where all their body needs is something with lots of enzymes and minerals and good bacteria. So a couple really good things and benefits about drinking some sort of fermented drinks. It's awesome for your gut and infuses your gut full of lactobacillus and lactic acid. You know, there's a ton of enzymes in there as well, so when the microorganisms that are in the whey that we've used start eating away at all the sugar, it starts producing lactobacillus and a whole bunch of enzymes. So for your gut health, this is something that we need. And nowadays, a lot of it's being killed off by people having antibiotics. Even if you had it when you were 6 and you never recultured your gut, you're fighting an unfair battle. These bad bacteria are winning the battle and causing havoc on our immune system. I'm not sure if you realise, but 70% of our immune system is actually in our gut. So if we can look after our gut health and revitalise it, you know, we're going to get rid of the common flu, the cold, we're going to be able to fight viruses a lot better, and our immune system is going to be able to help us out a lot more. It helps keep you super hydrated as well. It's also quite detoxifying because of all the microorganisms in there which help your liver do the job that it needs to do. And also if we can get our digestive system working well and really working, it won't overload our liver. So again, if we look after the digestive system, the liver's also going to be nice and healthy. It's a great way to get over sugar cravings as well. You can have something like this which has still got some sweetness in there, but because it's got all the good bacteria and the enzymes and everything, we're getting a lot of nutrition in there. So rather than popping for your Coke Zero or some other soft drink or even an alcoholic beverage, you know, get a glass of ginger ale. With the ginger ale that we've made today, or any sort of fermented soft drink, there's 3 things that you mainly need. All you need is to have water, sugar, and some sort of culture. So like I said, today we're using whey, and that's from there is your building block. From there you can add in apples, lemons, oranges, any sort of combination of fruit that you like, and just leave it for 4 to 5 days, and away it goes, all the good bacteria in there, start eating away at the sugar and turn it into a fermented drink. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. For the ginger ale, just a nice, simple, easy recipe, this one. If you're trying to make any sort of soda drinks or anything, the main ingredients you need to start with is your whey or some sort of culture, some very good filtered water, and then some sort of sweetener. Again, I usually like using maple syrup, but you can use any sort of sweetener. The only thing you might want to do is to stay away from honey, because sometimes it can inhibit the bacteria in there and it can just slow down that fermentation process. So I've done it in the past, however I usually find that I can use maple syrup, unprocessed cane sugar, or even rapadura, and I'll get the same sort of thing. So we need some sort of mason jar or some sort of container where it needs to be airtight. This is an anaerobic process, so we're not allowed to have any oxygen get in there at all and make it a nice fizzy drink. So there's our whey from when we made the yogurt, just sitting there. There's my maple syrup. We're going to need some salt in there to help as a catalyst for the fermentation. We've got some ginger, and you can either use lime or lemon. There's my water. This is the water filter that I use. It's a reverse osmosis, so it takes out the fluoride, takes out the chlorine and all the heavy metals. And then this little guy on top, there's something else there. It just helps add minerals back into my water and helps alkalize the water also. But normally I still add a little bit of pinch just to make sure that I've got enough minerals in my water. What we're going to start with is just to dissolve the maple syrup into the water. So I'm just going to bring the water to a boil. And today we're going to be using 2 litres of water in total for the whole mixture. So in the container here I've got 1 litre. I've got my 3/4 of a cup of maple syrup. Just going to pour that straight into here. Bit of water, mix it around. With that we're just going to make like a sugar syrup. So I'm going to bring it to the boil so it all infuses, and then I'm going to put it straight into my container. And the main thing is make sure you let it cool down to at least body temperature. If you start adding in the whey or the culture straight into this hot liquid, it'll kill all the good bacteria in there. So the main thing is once we've heated this up and it's now into a syrup, we've got to let it cool down at least to body temperature. So you can put it in a sink full of cold water, chuck it in the freezer for a little while, but just make sure it's down and the temperature's down. So here's how much ginger we got. Get a nice couple blocks of this. I got it on my scales and it's probably about 220 grams. So I guess you're trying to look for about every litre of water you're adding, you're looking at about 100 grams of ginger. What we're going to do now is just get the ginger and we're just going to take the skin off it. So I usually try and get it into nice little cylindric balls or something that you can work with. Sometimes if it's like this, it's hard to get in and out of the nuts. So if you just get a little bit, and all we're going to do, I'm just going to use a nice little paring knife. I'm just going to try and slowly take a little bit of the skin off until we get all the skin off. Nice, easy technique. And I guess after a while, if you're doing a little bit of this, it can become quite meditative. Pop it into the bowl and just finish off the rest. Keep the scraps to the side. Okay, there's my ginger all pureed up with the water, a little bit of salt. I've got my half a cup of lime juice here, that's going in there as well. And then we've got another half a litre of water here. So we've had half litre before, half litre now, that's a litre. We've also got a litre of water with the maple syrup in there as well, which we're going to add. So that's our 2 litres of water. We've got the whey, we've got the lime, maple syrup and the salt. I'm just going to mix that all around. And I'm just going to divvy this up into the 2 containers. And there we go. Alright, ginger ale's been up there for about 5 days. Let's look and see how it goes. So as you open it up, you should hear a little bit of a fizz because all the carbon dioxide sort of built up in there because there hasn't been allowed any sort of oxygen. So we'll see how it goes. Cool. So looking in it, you can see that it's starting to bubble, alright, so that's probably fine. You could probably leave it another couple of days if you wanted it to really eat away at all the sugar, but there's probably not a lot left in there anyway. So all you got to do now is just give it a nice little strain and away you go. Magic. Cool.